What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Bad Dog. Therapy session on a Sunday night. Again, I want to apologize for the technical issues that I had to deal with the last 2 days. Felt really bad that Chris had to do that one on his own. Felt really bad for anybody that actually had to sit through that game and look at it with their own eyes. Absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. 48-22. I don't care how many injuries we have. I don't care how little talent we have. I don't care whatever excuse somebody wants to come up with. That's inexcusable. You don't give up 48 points. You don't get humiliated like that in front of your own crowd. And I don't know what else to say. That was a horrific loss. And that looked like the team we'd watched the last 5 years. Now, I know Philadelphia is really good, so I'm not taking anything away from them. But my God, we were never in that game. Never had a chance. I thought I saw somebody in here. Where did they go? Who do we got in here anyway? OJ. Yeah, that was a tough day. I didn't get to do it. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, man. I'll actually talk about what happened now that I found out why I lost my my internet and my television in a second. Well, who do we got in here? We got Irish Rover. What's going on, man? Chris D, Davey Anonymous, Mesut Ozil, Lorenzo Hernandez, Posh 23. Cowboys suck. Cowboys almost lost today. That would have made me smile a little bit. JD Young, NY Man, Gucci Griff. What's going on? TG Fishing, Pasha, J Wavy, TB the King. What is going on? Young Money, Space Pirate, Suchith Rayo, Gene Moretti, Zanny Lord, Commander Manny, Nikki, what's going on? Sports cards, port cards, in-house tickets to history. I wish we had some. Diggs, Diggler, Dominic, Desotilis, Sniper Steve, Big Moo, Jake Reynes. Appreciate you being there. Gemini Don, Anthony, what's going on? Dave Eagles Champ. Louis T's got nothing to say. That Craig Abbott, first of all, shout out to Craig Abbott. I went to my P.O. box. So listen to this. I went to my P.O. box Friday afternoon. Got my ice cream. My ice cream is melted. So this is how the weekend went. I got to my P.O. box. Ice cream's melted. So that's 16 pints of ice cream down the drain, literally. You can go to Nick's Ice Cream, get yourself some great ice cream. I'll have to order more, but the post office screwed it up. It was there on Tuesday. I can't make it down there every day. They were supposed to call me last Saturday. Didn't. Ice cream's ruined. So I get that. But shout out to Craig Abbott because he was kind enough to send me 3 hats. And I did get those, man. And I got your letter or your note that went with him. And I really do appreciate it. Thank you for your service, Craig. He was a U.S. Navy veteran, sent me a USA hat, a USA flag hat and a Lakers hat. Greatly appreciated, Craig. You didn't have to do that, but I do appreciate it. And I did get the hat. So thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry I couldn't do the Lakers today. At least they ended up winning, but I will be back to doing normal stuff. God forbid. So at least that was good on a Friday that Craig was kind enough to send those hats to me. Then Saturday, I lost my connection. I lost the internet, my television. I remember I was watching something on TV, or I was watching wrestling. I was watching WrestleMania 13, I think. And I actually laid down to kind of relax, take a nap. Next thing I know, my son goes, uh-oh. And I thought I just lost the internet because that happens. Fios is always spotty with their internet anyway. So I thought, I lost my internet. Whoop-de-doo. Again, I'll have to go down and reboot it. Verizon Fios sucks, by the way. But I'm like, I'll go down and reboot it. Nothing happens. Then, nothing happens. Then my TV goes out. And it's like, I can't connect to the box. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Then I get a message saying there's an outage in your area. It'll be restored by 3:30 in the morning. I'm thinking, what the hell? Then like a half an hour later, I lost my power for 3 hours. Somebody kindly enough in my comment section said, pay your bill. Yeah, I should probably pay my bills because that was the reason I lost it. Because I can't afford my bills. Anyway, so I lost power for 3 hours, which means I have no heat because my heat runs. It's not electric heat, but the electricity heats my water, which in turn goes through the hot water baseboard of my house. So I lost that. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe they're connected. It goes hand in hand. That's why. Get my power back. Still don't have the internet. Still don't have the. So I call up Fios and I say, "What the hell is the freaking deal, man?" I'm like, "Where the hell's my internet? You know what's going on?" They tell me, "Oh, fiber optic easy for me to say, fiber optic cable was cut." I'm like, "Well, they can't repair this." So I'm thinking, okay, whatever. 3:30 in the morning. Then I get a text that says 5 in the morning. Then I wake up at 8:30 this morning. I have a text that says 9 at night tonight. Then I had another text after that said 2:30 in the morning tomorrow, which obviously they got it done before that. But I felt like an asshole because what had happened was about 6 blocks away from my house. There was a serious accident, and it was a multi-car accident. The car rolled over, and a couple of people were seriously injured, had to go to the hospital. They took out a telephone pole. So it wasn't just the fact that a fiber optic cable was cut. It was the fact that somebody took down the whole line on a massive crash and somebody almost died. So me thinking to myself, Jesus, here I am being as greedy as I possibly can be about my own internet. And it just made me think to myself, there's a lot bigger things in life than the freaking internet and the damn cable television. It did suck that I couldn't do the game today, but when I actually found out, because now that I am connected to the world again with my internet, God forbid you lose that, you got nothing. Because my phone, I have like the cheapest freaking cell phone shit there is, but it made me feel stupid. And sometimes it's something like that just makes you sit back and realize it's really important in life, especially this time of year. So I'm glad I have it back, but I just hope that, those people that were in the accident are okay and they recover quickly. I don't know what happened to those people. Again, nobody died. I just know some people went to the hospital and they were recovering, but like I said, it just goes to show you the important things in life. Giants certainly are an important part of my life, but that is certainly not my entire life, man. It's, like I said, especially this time of year, Christmas is around the corner. I get to celebrate it with my family. That's what's most important to me. And but that's what happened. That's why I wasn't around this weekend. And like I said, hopefully without some unforeseen thing like that happening, we'll be back to the way we were. And my Giants 26, thank you, my friend. He says, what are your thoughts on Kafka? The short routes, not running routes, past first down markers, no deep shots, the constant illegal formation penalties. Like I said, I couldn't see the routes. I couldn't see anything. I just had to listen. But I can tell you this, NY Giants, as I'm listening to the game, I'm thinking to myself the same thing. I'm like, why the hell is everything a 4-yard out? 4-yard out. I'm like, is Jason Garrett running our offense? You're getting your ass kicked. Throw the ball down the field. Throw it down the field. You're down 21-0 before you can blink an eye. Throw the ball down the field. Throw the ball down the field. What the hell do you have to lose? Take some shots. You're getting your teeth knocked down your throat. Take a shot. Throw it deep. Now, then again, from what I heard, Daniel Jones had no time to drop back in the pocket because every time he was back there, somebody was hitting him. So again, it's frustrating when you can't actually see what's going on. You just have to do your best to kind of envision it, but it didn't sound like he had a lot. But yeah, Kafka's play calling has certainly been questionable over the last 4 or 5 games. No doubt about that, man. Bloom, thank you, my friend. Can't sign Saquon. Spent that in another player that fills a bigger hole. Running backs are easy to find. Bloom, it's going to be a very interesting offseason. It will be. I don't know what the Giants are going to do. Beginning of the year, I would have told you there's no way Daniel Jones is coming back. After 9 games, I'm sitting there telling you, I definitely think Daniel Jones is coming back and Saquon's coming back. Now we sit here at 7-5-1, and we're kind of getting exposed a little bit against better teams. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if both of those guys are going to come back. I really don't. It'll be a very interesting offseason. But whatever they decide to do, if they decide to roll with Daniel Jones, I'm going to support it. If they decide to draft a quarterback, I'm going to support it. I'm not going to be heartbroken if they let Daniel Jones walk. And at the same time, I'm not going to be pissed off if they keep Daniel Jones around. I'm not one of these guys that blindly loves him, and I'm not one of these guys that blindly hates him. I root for him. He's a Giant. I want him to succeed. I want the Giants to win. So if they're going to win, it's because Daniel Jones does well. And I've said before, man, the owner of this team's come right out and said, we put him in one of the worst possible situations there is. So he never really had a shot here. Do you want to bring in a rookie quarterback into the same situation? Throw in guys like Richie James and David Sills and Darius, and I don't even know if they're going to sign Darius Slayton. I mean, do you want to bring in a rookie quarterback with no offensive line and no wide receivers to throw to? And if they let Saquon Barkley walk, no running back to give the ball to? I just don't know how you're going to bring in a rookie quarterback and have him succeed in the same situation. But I've said before, man, if, we talk about it all the time, if Joe Shane and Brandon Brown and Brian Dable love a quarterback and that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. I'm not going to be mad either way. I'm giving these guys an opportunity to build the team the way they see it, the way they want to build it to be successful. That's the way I'm looking at this thing. So whether that entails Daniel Jones in the future or doesn't, I'm going to ride with these guys no matter what, man. NY Giants, thank you, my friend. He says it's the same thing every week. At one point in this game, Jones threw it to Richie James on first down, but he ran the route just under the line of scrimmage, no gain. I hear that all the time. Like I said, I heard that. We do that all the time. And again, I've seen people saying, I think it was Online Big Blue said they don't try. Maybe it wasn't him. I don't want to say it was him if it wasn't, but maybe it was. There's very few content creators I watch on YouTube. Tim is one of them. I watch Tim. I watch Chris, obviously. It's very, very few that I watch. But he said, do they not trust Daniel Jones? Maybe some of it is part of that. I don't know. I don't know what the play calling is. Because like I said, this is what they did the last 2 years of Jason Garrett too, was a lot of that line of scrimmage, 4-yard out, 3-yard out, underneath stuff. Very, very few shots down the field. Is that lack of trust in Daniel Jones? Is that lack of trust in the receivers to get open? Is that lack of trust in the offensive line to give Daniel Jones time? Is it a combination of everything? All of the above. Whatever it is, this offense just doesn't go. It just doesn't go. There was one time I know that Daniel Jones ran for a first down. I'm like, why aren't they doing that more? But Gwendolyn, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. The game was blacked out during the final minute. I can understand why. You can understand why they would have went to a more competitive game. Like I said, I didn't get to. I had the fortunate, not the unfortunate, but the fortunate mishap of not being able to watch the game. And my Giants saying, my friend, I forgot what it's like to have a dominant wide receiver. I think you, me, and all the other Giants fans forgot what it was like to have that too. I also forgot what it was like to have a really good offensive line. And, I don't know if you hopefully you guys watched my post-game video, but I said this in my post-game video. This is the first year of a Giants rebuild. We're 7-5-1. We're 6-1 fool's gold. I mean, it probably was. We were playing over our head, right? And like I said, all the videos that I made at the beginning of the year, 6-1, 7-2, I was happy. I'm happy. I never sat here and said we were a good team at any point. I never said that we're going to win a Super Bowl, or we're going to win the division, or we're better than the Eagles, or we're better than the Cowboys, or we're better than the Chiefs or the Bills. Never at any point that I say that. I always said we're finding ways to win, and we still have a lack of talent, and we still have a lot of holes in this team. But at the same point, I was going to enjoy winning. I'm going to enjoy the Giants winning. I don't see that a lot. I didn't see that a lot. The last 4 games or so, that's what we're used to seeing. So to be 7-2 at some point this season, I was going to enjoy that. But you look at you look at what the Bills did, you look at the way they built their franchise, and you look at how the Eagles turned their franchise around in just a couple of years. They were 4-11-1 2 years ago. Last year, they were 5-7 through 12 games. They won their last 4. They got in the playoffs at 9-7. Look at them now. Now, I'm not saying the Giants are going to be 12-1 in 2 years, but you look at where Joe Shane came from. He worked under Brandon Beane, or I'm sorry, Beane. He worked under Beane in Buffalo, right? One of the best GMs in the league. But Joe Shane learned how to draft from him, learned how to maneuver the cap around under him. Joe Shane comes from one of the best organizations in football at working the cap and drafting. Brandon Brown, assistant GM, came from underneath Howie Roseman, right? That sounded dirty, but you get my point. He came from the Philadelphia Eagles, another team that's really good at moving the cap around, finding ways around the cap, drafting really well, and, finding talent. We have our front office, 2 guys that came from 2 of the best organizations and working the draft and the front office in the cap situation. Tells me, give the Giants a couple of years. That's where we're at. But we have good minds in that front office. And I know the coaching staff is definitely struggled. I understand that this has been a bad stretch. And I understand that Dable hasn't done as well here, and he certainly had some bad moments, as has Kafka, as has Wink. But I still think that this is the right coaching staff, and I still think this coaching staff is going to be very good in the future. I definitely think the Giants are moving in the right direction. We hit a speed bump, man. It is what it is. But it is what it is. So, Bloom, thank you, my friend. He says, I love Hodgins. Want him back next year's depth. Yeah, Hodgins has been really good. One of the few bright spots today was Hodgins. Also, Azeez Ojulari, he had a couple sacks. So that was also a bright spot as well. But it is what it is. When's the last time the Giants won a game? I don't know. I bet you it was probably sooner than you got laid, sir. I bet you they won a game. You haven't been laid. I bet you that's a fact. I bet you they won a game before you got laid or after. I bet you that. I bet you anything that's the case. Tibbs did have a sack. Tibbs has played much better. He has definitely played much better as of late. There's no question about that. No question about it. Kafka's Garrett without hair. Yes. Where was I during the game today? I was at home. I was at home listening to it. That's what I was doing. Everyone looked. Yes, that's the whole thing. Everyone would look good with Josh Allen's code. Like, there's not a lot of Josh Allens in there. Just not. It's not Josh Allens don't grow on trees. You know what I mean? It's not that easy to hit on a quarterback. Like I said, you look at the Jets, and the Jets have missed on 3 top 5 quarterbacks. Rosen was a miss. There's a bunch of guys that miss. It happens. The situation a quarterback comes into has a lot to do with his success or failure. It really does. Pat Mahomes came into a great situation. Pat Mahomes is ready to rock and roll. The Bills were starting to turn it around when Josh Allen got there. And then they added a Stephon Diggs. They were close. We're not close. The fact that we won 7 games, which is what I thought we'd win this entire year. I thought we'd go 7-10. It's amazing. And as bad as we've looked, we beat Washington. We have a really good chance to make the playoffs. It's a tall task, but it can be done. We did play them to a tie the last time. Should have won. Listen, man, all you watched today was just a complete mismatch, right? That's what this was. It was a complete mismatch. The Eagles are way better than we are. And it showed. And I don't think any Giants fan went into this game legitimately believing that we could win. I just don't. I don't believe any Giants fan thought. I don't think any rational Giants fan would go, yeah, we're going to beat the Eagles. We would have had to play absolutely perfect, and they would have had a terrible game, and they didn't. They can beat you in so many ways. It's unbelievable. Bob, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, welcome back, Bad Luck. Thank you. He says, me personally, I'm happy. Did not expect this season to begin with. So no matter how the season ends, I've enjoyed this season watching meaningful December football since 16. Love this coach and front office. Bob, I couldn't agree with you more, man. Obviously, it's disappointing the way they've played the last few games. You don't like seeing them get blown out the way they did today and embarrassed. That's never good. You never want to see your team get throttled, especially by a division opponent, especially the freaking Eagles. The amount of bandwagon Eagle fans that jumped on the internet after they won that Super Bowl. Holy shit. I mean, for real. Wow. It's a lot of them. A lot of content creators, too, came out. After the Eagles were making that run at the Super Bowl, man, they all came out of the woodwork. A lot of them. But I agree, man. The front office, this is the best game. This is the best year we've had since 2016. It's been a lot of long years. December never meant anything. Not since 2016. December football didn't mean anything. So yeah, to have a meaningful football game the week before Christmas means a lot. It means they're moving in the right direction. They've done this with no talent. You know, people can say whatever they want about the Giants and, oh, you did this, you did that. Yeah, but how did we do it? You know, they could hate on Daniel Jones. They could say we have no offensive line, we have no wide receivers, we have this, we have that. We don't, but found a way to win. Found a way to win a lot of those games. Found a way to beat the Ravens. Found a way to beat the Titans. Found a way. You know, found a way. Will Levis is a bum. I'm not sold on really any of these quarterbacks. I think that I think some of these quarterbacks can be talent or successful if they come into the right scenario, but I don't think the right scenario is with the New York Giants. I don't think Will Levis would succeed here. I just don't. I don't think Anthony Richardson would succeed with the Giants. They'd be walking into a really bad situation. They just would. So, I don't know. Sink says lots of, well, there definitely is. But one thing I can tell you, Sink, is this. I live on the Massachusetts border. Okay. I've said this before. I'm literally 25 minutes away from Massachusetts. I'm right on the very far east coast of upstate New York. So I'm like on the Vermont, Massachusetts border. Okay. I can tell you when the Red Sox won it in 2004, the amount of Red Sox fans that all of a sudden ended up in upstate New York was unfathomable. They were never around. Never saw them anywhere. When the Patriots started winning their Super Bowls, I can honestly say I never saw an influx of Patriots fans. You would think around here, I would. There is nary a Patriots fan around here. You do not see them. They don't exist, which is strange. So I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. And I didn't see any like extra Patriots fans jump on YouTube. You know, they've always been here. But I don't know, man. It's just, it is weird. It is weird. And my Giants saying, my friend appreciate it. He says, I know we've exceeded expectations, but we started 7-2, dropped 7-5-1. I'm disappointed. This roster is falling apart in front of us. Future unsure. Well, yeah, I mean, anybody's future is unsure. There is no sure thing in the future. Nobody knows for sure what goes on in the future, but, you know, I want to be positive about the future. It is disappointing the way we've played the last 4 games. I don't think there's any question about that. The Lions are red hot right now, though. But that was kind of the downfall, was that Lions loss. Obviously, listen, we're not good enough to beat the Cowboys and the Eagles. You know, we played the 2 best teams outside of San Francisco. We played the 2 best teams in the NFC. We're not on their level. I don't think you can expect to beat the Eagles or the Cowboys if you're a Giants fan. Washington, we should have won that game. We let it get away. Washington fans will tell you the same thing, but I felt like we let that get away. Should have beat them. Didn't. Tied them, right? The Detroit game was one where I was like, man, we shouldn't have lost that game. But they are playing really well right now. And I don't know what else to say. But it does suck. But the future is always unsure. We don't know what our quarterback situation is. We don't know what our wide receiver situation is, running back. We don't know what anything is. But again, just looking at what the Bills did, looking at what the Eagles have done, I have hope that these two guys, Brandon Brown and Joe Shane, are going to come in here and fix things. You got to give them time. I mean, you want to talk about Daniel Jones being in a horrendous situation when he came to the Giants, and he was. I mean, could you put a GM in a worse situation than what Joe Shane, Brian Daboll had to take over here? Remember, this is a team that won 22 games combined in the last 5 years and came in with one of the worst cap situations in the NFL this year. And yet, he may be 7-5-1, and it may not be pretty the way we got here because we started 7-2. But I think 7-5-1. I think these guys are to be commended to even get to that record with what the hell we have here. Benjamin says, "Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it, smart man, for not taking 500 bet. I'm not going to take. This is the thing, Benjamin. I'm not going to take a bet I know I'm going to lose. There would be no reason for me to take a bet I know I'm going to lose, right? I mean, I'm not good at betting NFL games anyway, which, by the way, if you want to bet and you want to put some money on the games like tomorrow night, or you want to play some college basketball, bowl season is right around the corner for college football. You got to make sure you go to mybookie.ag, everybody. That's right, mybookie.ag. Go to mybookie.ag. You can play promos, you can play prop bets. You can play parlays. You can play future bets. You can play some blackjack if you want to. You want to make the games interesting since everybody's so good at picking winners. It seems everybody always knows the right winners. Well, go to mybookie.ag and win yourself some damn money. Make sure you enter the promo code BADDOG. It's BADDOG. It's one word. You get a 25% cashback bonus on your first deposit. So make sure you go to MyBookie, enter that, win yourself some damn money. I'm not good at betting on NFL. College football, a little bit better. I'm okay at college football. I'm not going to retire on it, but the NFL, forget about it. But I'm not going to make a sucker's bet. I try not to bet with my heart or with my, with my heart. I try to bet with my head. And I didn't even see what his bet was. I didn't watch the video. LA Lou, thank you so much. He says there's only one or two quarterbacks in the draft worth the number one pick. The rest will probably fall the way of Malik Willis, and the rest of the others did. Yeah, there's a massive drop in talent, and I think that even, CJ Stroud kind of fell off a little bit. Caleb Williams is the best guy in there. So Benjamin, thank you, my friend. Since he is a schlongagger or whatever, it had something to do with a toupee. He texted me before he made the video, and he said, I'm going to do a video. And I told him, I was like, don't bother, man. I'm not taking a bet. I'm like, we have no chance. I can tell you what I said to him. I told him, I said, don't bother with it. I said, I'm not taking the bet. I say, all right. So he said, yo, my man, I'm throwing a bet out tomorrow for the game. Keep a lookout on the video. It's going to be fun. A very tough game this week. I respect what you guys have done. I said, yeah, I'm not betting on the Giants. We have no chance. He said, you definitely have a chance. This is rivalry games, always a chance. I said, nope, zero chance. I know my team. I know your team. We have no offense, and we can't keep up with you guys. I could easily see a 31-10 Eagles win. 31-10, 31-17. He says, haha, man, hope you're right. I think it'll be close, like 20-17. See? So, there you go. See? Nope, zero chance. Wasn't taking that freaking bet. I'm not going to take a bet I know I'm going to lose. Douglas, thank you for the super chat. He says, at least I still have the Denver Nuggets. Yeah. I'm just, like I said, normally the Giants season is over by now. So, normally the season's over by now. We have a very meaningful game next Sunday night. Definitely. Bob, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, and Shane has his own scouts out there, so this offseason will be drafted. That's right. That's right, Bob. He has his own scouts. He brought in his own scouts. He fired some scouts. Chris Mara was demoted. He's no longer in charge of whatever that was, player personnel and all this stuff. But yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Just I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to play. Irish just stop with the quarterback issue. That'll be handled by Shane at the end of the season. The draft will be very important to the rebuild. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. Big Moo, thank you for the super chat. Please take the ESPN screen down. I'm right here. I'm right here. No, I want to have that up. This is a therapy session, man. I want that to sink in. I want that 48-22 to sink in. That's what I want. I want that to sink in. I want that to sink in. But you can definitely see me. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. You know what I look like. There's no surprises here. Amazing guy says Giants keep beating themselves. Not today. Not today. That was a good old-fashioned ass whooping that Philadelphia laid on us. The Giants did not beat themselves today. The Eagles, plain and simply, kicked our ass. That's it. That's all that was. That's all that was. That's all it was. That's all that was. How about the Chargers winning this game 17-7? Well, listen, the Panthers did us a big favor today. The Panthers did us a big favor. It's still, we got to beat Washington, but the Panthers winning that game today was huge. That was huge. Oh, yeah, John, we need number one receiver. We're secondary, linebacker, interior offensive line. We got a lot of holes, man. That's why these people were talking about, we got to get Odell Beckham. I'm like, man, no. Odell Beckham's not going to make a difference on this particular team. He's not going to make a difference. And nobody's taking him. Nobody picked him up. So, yeah, our punter is ass. Our punter's ass. Dude bobbles it and then kicks it off the ground. Come on. Come on, man. How many wins would we be at if we were 100% healthy? I mean, not many more than we have. I mean, maybe Washington. I mean, I would like to say Detroit, but Detroit really just beat our ass. I don't think we beat, even if we were 100% healthy, I still don't think we're good enough to beat Dallas or Philadelphia. Maybe instead of 7-5-1, we're 8-5. I really think injuries played a part in us losing here recently. I think we just played against better teams. Injuries don't help the matter. They're not helping, but I just think we've run into teams with much better talent than us here in the NFC East. I mean, it's the best division in football. They said today, or I thought I saw a stat that the NFC East has the highest winning percentage in the history of the NFL through 12 weeks or whatever the hell it's been, through 14 weeks or something crazy. So we just run into really good teams. I mean, I think Philadelphia is the best team in the NFC. Them or San Francisco. They're both really good. San Francisco, even with Brock Purdy back there, look amazing. And then Dallas is probably a distant third, but still Dallas is, from Dallas, it's just a massive drop-off to everybody else in the NFC. So, we played two of the three best teams in the NFC, and we've taken 3 losses. We're 7-2-1 against everybody else. So, like I said, that last game against Philadelphia, I'm not asking Philadelphia to do us favors. I'm not asking Philadelphia to lay down and let it go, but they may do that. If the Philadelphia Eagles may have nothing to play for that last week of the season. And, regardless of how much, that rivalry is and everything else, they gotta think to themselves, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles and you're sitting there at 15-1 or whatever, maybe 14-2, but you have everything wrapped up. And the Giants need that game to win to get in the playoffs. You can't sit there and think to yourself, if you're the Eagles, boy, we better knock the Giants out of the playoffs because we don't want to face them down the road. So let's play all of our starters and risk injury to Jalen Hurts or A.J. Brown or anybody like that. There's an easy touchdown to Tyreek Hill. So, they may just play them for a quarter and then we can end up with that win. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what Philadelphia is going to do, but at the same time, they may just say, let the Giants in the playoffs. I ain't worried about them. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this division's very tough. So, Tyrod did play today. Think the first play he fumbled. I don't know. I don't know. Mike says we got to stick with DJ because he's one of our best players in offense, which shows you how bad our offense is. Listen, man, like I said, I'm all for bringing Daniel Jones back here on a 3-year deal where he can get out after 2. I'm all for that. I'm not for giving him a franchise quarterback contract, and I really just don't think he was given a fair shake here. But if Joe Shane and company think that they want to move on and they can't win with Daniel Jones, I'm not going to be heartbroken over it. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it and whatever. I'm going to say he just had no chance to succeed here. I wish him nothing but the best wherever he goes. But I'm not giving Daniel Jones more than 3 years with the option they got after 2, unless he proves it. And I think that's the best way for him to prove it. Instead of picking up a 5th-year option, you give him that small contract, and you actually have to pay less than the franchise tag, which is $32 million. You can maneuver the money around. But I'm all for bringing him back here for a shorter term contract and seeing what he can do. And then if he's terrible, you can get away from him in the next couple of years. But I would at least like to see what Daniel Jones could do with a competent receiving core and a competent offensive line, at least a decent one. Not an offensive line and a wide receiving core full of practice squad guys. I would at least like for him to have an opportunity to play with some NFL talent. Not the guys who are putting on the field around him outside of Saquon Barkley. It's been rough. It's just, that's what makes it so tough about Daniel Jones. This is why I've had so many ups and downs at Jones. This is why I'm so I get high on him. I'm low on him. Like, he sucks. He's great. He's good enough. He's not good enough. I don't know. People are like, he's inconsistent. And I agree, because everything around him has been inconsistent. So, I don't know how they can be like, oh, he's inconsistent. Yeah, because what does he have? There's a part of me that wants to see what he can do with some NFL talent around him. And then there's a part of me that says, listen, if they want to move on, I understand. He's had 4 years to prove it, and he still hasn't proven it. We're still questioning, is he the guy? After 4 years, you should know if he's the guy or not. You should know. You should go, he is the guy. He's not the guy. After 4, you shouldn't still be trying to prove yourself after 4 years. But again, his situation is a little bit different than most quarterbacks. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. That's what's so frustrating about the way the Giants are. It's what's so frustrating about the way the team is built. Dashy, you're the man. Thank you. He says, we beat the Browns 23-10 today in Cincinnati. Got the split. Browns fans already making excuses. May drink some Browns fans' tears. You should. Cincinnati is on a roll right now, boy. Nobody wants to face them. Nobody wants to face them. I don't know if it could happen. It probably could. I think I could see a Bengals-Bills AFC Championship game. I don't know if that's possible. I guess. Excuse me. I guess it would depend on where these teams finished. But I don't know. Yeah, exactly. We gave up 48 points. So you can't blame Daniel Jones for that. Yeah, John, I agree. DJ is flashes of talent, but our entire offense is collectively inconsistent, as is all the coaches around him. Could get him a wide receiver one and watch him turn into an elite quarterback. Now, I don't know if it'll ever be elite. Like, I would never use the word elite to describe Daniel Jones. I don't think he has elite talent, but I do think that if you got him some good talent around him, that he could be a decent quarterback. I don't know. I never know what the hell. I never know what the hell to feel on Daniel Jones, man. I'm hot on him, cold on him, hot, cold, hot, cold. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what he is. I don't know what he is. He shows, like you said, he shows those flashes of wow, he can be really good, and then he just looks really lost sometimes. But today it didn't sound like he was horrible. It just sounded like they didn't throw the ball down the field, and it sounded like he was rushed a lot. And again, I'm not at the game, and again today definitely. I mean, I listen to the radio, so there's no way I can see. But you only see on television what they show you. And I have a lot of people tell me all the time, and they're there. So if they're there and they see it, or they watch back the film and they say, "Bad dog, he misses a lot of open receivers," I got to take their word for it. And maybe he does miss wide open receivers down the field and decides to check it down. Like I said, I don't know because I can only unless the television shows it. I guess I should go back and watch some film on it sometime if I ever get time, just to see what people are seeing that I'm not seeing. I don't know. Like a lot of people say he misses throws down the field. He had an open guy. He's too scared to take the chance. Maybe that is some of it. It's just like I said, it's just difficult to know what the hell he is. Carl Banks says that too. Does Carl Banks say that he doesn't take shots on a field or that he misses receivers down the field? Like I said, I've heard that. And if there's people at the game and they say, I got to believe what they're seeing. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. L.A. Lou, thank you, my friend. Did you watch a Thursday night football game? What did you think? I did. I was watching it when I was doing the show with Chris. It was one hell of a comeback by the Rams. The Raiders have done that a lot this year. The Raiders have blown massive leads late in games this year. Massive leads. But Baker Mayfield put that ball right in the bucket. Listen, nothing else. Baker Mayfield's auditioning for a team next year. I keep saying Baker's going to be a Jet, joking around. I don't know. He says Bob Blizzard says if you got to constantly defend DJ week in and week out, then obviously he's not the solution. I mean, I don't think I'm defending him. I think that I'm just speaking about what's around him. I mean, that's I'm not saying anything that's not fact here. He doesn't have a good surrounding cast, but at the same time, I don't know what the hell he is. It's not defending him. I'm sitting here telling you honestly, I don't know what the hell he is. I wish it was definitive one way or the other. I wish Daniel Jones had the guys that Jalen Hurts had around him, right? Or the guys that Tua has around him. Now, I wish he had a Tyreek Hill and a Jalen Waddle. I wish he had an A.J. Brown and a Devontae Smith and a good offensive line, because then we would know. Then we would know either he would really succeed or he'd fail. We go, wow, he sucks. Can't do this with all the talent around him, or he'd be good. That's the toughest thing about him. It's hard to judge him when there's nothing there. And it's just so hard when you draft the quarterback. It's like you're starting over. And maybe part of me just doesn't want to completely start over. Maybe that's part of it. And maybe that's part of it for other Giants fans with Daniel Jones. I really love him, is they don't want to start over. And they want him so bad to be the guy. I want him to be the guy. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not the guy. But we're going to find that out. We're going to find out in the offseason. We're going to find it out. L.A. Lou, thank you, my friend. Baker could be a Raider. They need a spark. Well, Baker be a perfect Raider. He'd be a perfect Raider. It's the eye test. I mean, he doesn't extend plays. Well, he does sometimes. He misses wide receivers downfield. That's true. I'm sure he does. It's because the past with having a bad line, he wouldn't hit them. Again, like I said, I think he does. I think he can extend plays. I mean, I think this year we've seen him get a lot better with pocket presence. I think he's grown there. But yeah, there's definitely, I mean, I have seen it, not as often as other people, but I've definitely seen him miss throws or have guys open. I mean, I see guys come out of the backfield and they're open. I'm like, throw it over there. Thinking to myself, the guy's wide open and he's delayed, Sometimes that processing just isn't quick enough. And again, man, whatever our coaching staff and our front office decides with Daniel Jones, I'm going to be okay either, one way or the other. One way or the I don't really have a preference. I mean, if I had a preference, I would hope that they would hold on to him and that he could turn into being a good quarterback. If you got some talent around him, or if you do get good talent around him and we're still questioning it after another couple of years, and you can say, okay, he's definitely not the dude. But it's just, if you draft a rookie quarterback and you bring a rookie quarterback in here with, Bredesen and Feliciano's not going to be, but you get my drift. You bringing him in a line, you're bringing him into an offensive line with guys like Bredesen, Feliciano, Glowinski, Shane Lemieux, Matt Peart. You're bringing him into that type of scenario where he's throwing to David Sills and Darius Slayton and Richie James and Marcus Johnson. Like, if you bring in a rookie quarterback in that situation, I don't really know how much better another quarterback would be. I really don't. But Ryan Daboll, they were going to evaluate Daniel Jones this year, so we'll see what the evaluation is at the end of the year. That's about it, man. New York for Life, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, is everyone going to be healthy next week? Not everyone. I don't think McKinney will be there. That's something we missed. That was a big loss to the Giants. Was Xavier McKinney. I know the one touchdown to Devontae Smith when I was listening on the radio, from what I understand, Julian Love took a really bad route at the ball. From what I understood, that pass probably could have been picked off, but he went after the receiver and not the football, and didn't make a play on the ball. He didn't make a play on the ball. Noah, my friend, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thoughts on Kafka so far? It's funny. At the beginning of the year, I thought that he had some creativity. I thought that he was doing a pretty good job. And I thought the Giants offense, although it wasn't great, I thought it showed a lot more life than it is now. It seems like it's become extremely stale and predictable, kind of the way we were last year. Whereas at the beginning of the year, again, we weren't setting any offensive records, but it felt like, they moved, like they would get up in an up-tempo pace. They would go no huddle. They would run some reverses. They would run a lot more RPO. It seemed like at the beginning of the year, there was a lot more creativity with his play calling, and now it's just kind of reverted back to what we've seen the last couple of years. A lot of 4-yard dump offs and, not really taking shots down the field, and 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And I don't know. So I don't know. So I don't know, man. Today was a rough day. I don't think there's any question about that. Today was just a sad day, man. It was a sad day. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, McKinney getting hurt definitely did not feel better, or did not help the situation. Foss says wide receiver ceiling his Cousins, not terrible, not good enough to give. And I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I think that he could be a little bit better than that, but we may never know. We may never know. Is it time for a new special teams coordinator? Yeah, good point, Alan. Good point. Our special teams is horrible. Our punter sucks. He won't be back next year. For the love of God, can we get a punter in here? For the love of God, can we get a punter? Please. L.A. Lou, thank you, my friend. He says, Kafka needs to... Oh, he's going to get another year, Lou. You can't call the offense you want when you don't have the weapons. I agree. Just like DJ, give him a good old line and some receivers. I mean, that's my whole thing, man. I don't know what to expect, and it is hard. Again, you come into the year thinking your receiving core, you look at it on paper, it looks pretty good. Sterling Shepard, you drafted Wan'Dale Robinson, you got Kadarius Toney and Kenny Golladay. You're thinking, okay, Golladay battled some injuries last year, second year at DJ. They didn't really get a chance to build the chemistry. He's going to be better. Kadarius Toney battled a lot of injuries. He's going to be healthy this year. He's explosive. We can use him. We got Wan'Dale Robinson. He's shifty. You got Sterling Shepard. He's a good possession receiver. You're looking at the first four receivers going, that's not a bad receiving core. It's the best receiving core we've had in a while. Kenny Golladay, doghouse early, dogging it in training camp, dogging it, hurt, benched, garbage. Kadarius Toney played 8 snaps week 1, then got hurt, hamstring, then his other hamstring, then his other hamstring, then his fourth hamstring, hurt, doesn't play. Had about, 6 catches the entire year for the Giants, gets traded, not there. Sterling Shepard tears his Achilles tendon, gone. Wan'Dale Robinson has a 100-yard game, and in that game tears his ACL. None of the receivers. Darius Slayton, who took a pay cut to stay on this team, was going to be gone without that. He's our number 1 receiver right now. That's how far the Giants have fallen in that receiving core. This is nothing like we thought we were going to have. It's tough. It's tough. Johnny, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Says, Bad Dog, glad you're back, my friend. Personally, I feel bad for you as a Giants fan. I don't. I've seen plenty of championships. You deserve every bit of this. Dable did say we have to check the tape. Does Hurts deserve MVP in your opinion? He's right up there. Because I think Mahomes has had a couple of, he didn't play really well today. I know they won. He didn't really play well. Hurts is definitely in the discussion, man. He's definitely in the discussion. He probably will win it. Because I can tell you this, and maybe it's just because I watch the NFC East. I'm a Giants fan, obviously, and I watch the NFC East games when I can because that's important to me. And I don't watch a ton of Chiefs games. I mean, I do if they're on like Sunday Night Football or whatever. But you don't hear a lot about like Mahomes winning the MVP or Josh Allen, but I hear it about Jalen Hurts all the time. So I think Jalen Hurts has a good chance. I think he has a good chance. So remember when I called Hurts trash? Yep, I do. What's your point? What's your point? I call a lot of guys trash. What's your point? I was wrong. What's your point? When you blame everybody but the quarterback, no, Daniel Jones gets his fair share of blame. My point is, I would at least like to have some kind of NFL talent around the kid to know whether he can play or not. But he is part of the problem. There is no question about this. He is not above taking blame for his time with the Giants. But at the same time, they really haven't. The owner said they didn't do him any favors. And he's right. He's right. Does Hurts have legal issues? I don't ever remember anything bad about Jalen Hurts. I always thought Jalen Hurts was a good character guy. Worked very hard. I never had anything bad to say about Hurts. I just didn't think Hurts could throw at the NFL level. He proved me wrong. Change it up today. No Coke Zero. I want some diet green tea today. Don't worry, I got like 6 liters or 6 2-liter bottles of Coke Zero upstairs. But yeah, I went with the. I was like dehydrated yesterday too. I had a wicked headache, so I was like, you know what? I better get some green tea, and maybe it'll hydrate me a little bit better. That some fans want Dable and Shane on the hot seat is nothing short of insane. Short of a Super Bowl, what would please those fans? You can't listen to them, Jonathan. There's a lot of. There's just a lot of there's a lot of ridiculousness on the internet, man. There just is. There's a lot of ridiculousness on social media. People hide behind their keyboard. They don't put their face out there. Nobody sees them. They just, they just type on it, type, as they drool all over themselves and, just looking for attention. That's all that is. That's all it is. Summit Hockey, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Says Dog, thanks for keeping it 100. No excuses. We need a playoff game. Dables has been all breaks for the last few weeks. Need to step on the game. Yeah, I don't know what like Summit Hockey. I don't know why the Giants don't. This offense is in a funk. The team is in a funk. You really have nothing to lose by at least trying to open up a little bit. What's the worst that's going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen if you try to open up the playbook and have Daniel Jones throw it deep? What's he going to, you got to throw an interception? Is he going to get sacked? I mean, what's the difference? You're putting up 14 points and it matters. I mean, you go say, hey, they scored 22 points. Yeah, but it was garbage. The Giants get garbage touchdowns at the end of the game every week. It was Tyrod Taylor scoring that last touch. The game was over. So take a shot. Take a shot. Take a shot. Throw the ball deep. Do something different. Try to loosen up that damn defense. It's ridiculous. Brent, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Most of them on Dable, Shane Gone, or DJ Stands. Yeah, there's a few of those out there. But I don't know. This is true. Hurts, Red, War, and Peace on the yeah, it's prerogative of a good offensive line. Gives a quarterback a lot of confidence. When a quarterback plays a lot of confidence, they're going to succeed. And he did. He did. Jalen Hurts had a lot of time for the pie. That's what we got to do. He said, I would like to at least see Daniel Jones have time in the pocket like that, but it might not be him. It might be another quarterback taking snaps next year. Yeah, I don't ever remember Hurts having legal troubles or scandals. I've never heard that. And I followed the kid right through college, so I've never heard anything, nothing, no off the field issues with Jalen Hurts. I've never heard anything bad about. I've only heard good things about Jalen Hurts. That was it. Johnny, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, I know the Giants lack talent plus injuries. Are you still happy with the coaching staff because Judge had a decent first year? No, Judge didn't have a decent first year. Judge was 6-10. The Giants, though, it had improved, and they had a chance to win the division because the division was so god awful. I just like Joe. I like Brian Dable's demeanor better. I like the fact that Brian Dable allows his players to have input. I like the fact that Brian Dable talks to his players. I like the fact that Brian Dable's not afraid to chew his players out. But I don't know. I think actions speak louder than words. Joe Judge's words definitely got me hook, line, and sinker. His first year here, there's no question about it. I wanted to believe in the guy. But I do think that Dable will be a good coach. I do. But there's very you look at the team that Joe Judge had last year before Jones got hurt. I think the talent level is better. It's been an interesting year, man. Been an interesting year. Rakeem, thank you. I said, DJ's own receivers down the field. He just doesn't look and keeps checking it. If that's the case, then it's on DJ. DJ holds on to the ball. That I do know. I do know Daniel Jones holds on to the ball a long time. That I do know. I do know that he does that. But if he's missing receivers and he decides to check it down the field, then that's on him. But again, when I'm watching on television, man, I can't see who's running open and who's not. You know, that's it. That's it. I don't know. I really don't. There's something I wanted to see up here. Where'd it go? I don't know what I wanted to watch here. I forgot what I saw here. There was something I wanted to address. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. I don't know where the hell it went. Minus Mincy, minus the legal issues. Well, then that. I don't know. I think they're different types of quarterbacks, but minus the legal trouble, then yes, I could see that. I could see that. Michael, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. He says, winning these 7 games the way we won, the season makes me happy with this regime. We overachieved this season, in my opinion. We literally lack talent every position except. I agree with you. That's why I think the Giants are going in the right direction. I do. I think the Giants are going in the right direction. The last few weeks have not been pretty, but 7-5-1 is very good for what this team does. The fact that they were able to get the wins that they got was pretty amazing, considering. So, again, man, I'm not going to be disappointed if they don't make the playoffs. Obviously, starting 6-1, you would expect them to, but they just haven't played well. They've played better teams, but they just haven't played well. They haven't played the way they did the first few weeks of the season. Sometimes that honeymoon phase wears off. Sometimes that magic wears off. Sometimes you got to bear down. You got to show your resolve, and you got to get your ass up, and you got to fight. Don't be sitting there hanging your heads if you're the New York Giants going, oh, woe was me. The Eagles embarrassed us. Woe was me. We're no good. None of that Eeyore bullshit. Pick your asses up. Get ready for Washington. Know that this is a playoff type game and your season isn't over. Go out there and beat the holy hell out of them. Stand up and smack those bastards in the mouth. That's what you got to do. Dig down deep, find that freaking resolve, and kick their ass. Find that magic that you had. Stop looking for ways to lose. Stop looking for excuses as to why you lost. Fix that shit and get out there and win a football game. That's what you do. And my Giants thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, it sucks seeing these fun players around us in the East. CD, AJ, Smith, Zeke, Hurts, etc. We haven't had that outside Saquon. Oh, that's a fact. We haven't had that. When Odell Beckham left, really didn't have it. We really haven't. It has been a tough few years for the Giants, which is why with them being a chance to win getting the playoffs, I'm happy with that because it has been tough. And I know this team's got a lot of work to do. But that's why we got the guys that we got. That's what Joe Shane's job is. That's what Brandon Brown's job is. We got to give them a chance to do their job. They didn't have a lot of opportunity to really make any moves. What the hell could they do? They had no cap space. They couldn't do anything. They were strapped. They were handcuffed their first year in here. They were handcuffed. Now next year we're going to have 50 to 55 million in cap space. We're going to be one of the best cap situations in the NFL. We're going to have at least 11 draft picks. So let's see what these guys can do. Let's see what they can do. Swoop that says, you're going to beat Washington. We're going to rest our guys. You will make it to the playoffs. I hope you're right. Swoop that. I do. We beat Washington. We got a good chance. I also think we can beat Indianapolis. And yeah, that last game against Philadelphia, it's not going to surprise me if they do rest their guys. Maybe not the whole game, but for a half. Now, the Giants can't let it happen. What happened today? If the Eagles do decide we're going to play our guys for a half, the rest of our half, the Giants can't get down 21-0. They got to keep their ass in that game. But if the Eagles have nothing to play for, it would be silly for them to risk injury to try to beat the Giants when they know that the Giants are no threat to them. I remember it was 4 years ago. I remember this. I remember Chicago and Minnesota playing the last game of the season. If Minnesota won, they were in the playoffs. The Eagles were eliminated. If Minnesota won, if Minnesota won, the Eagles were eliminated. Minnesota was in the playoffs. If Chicago won, Minnesota was eliminated. The Eagles got in the playoffs. I remember telling Josh at the Sports Fury, you do not want to beat Minnesota. Let Minnesota win. You know you can beat the hell out of Minnesota. You know you own them. Don't let Philadelphia in the playoffs. You're going to regret it. And what happened? Chicago was out of their way to beat Minnesota, knock them out. Eagles knocked the Bears out. That was the double doink field goal thing, but still. So that's what I'm saying. If you're the Eagles, the Giants pose no threat to you. And my Giants, thank you. I want to draft Jordan Addison, preferably. Jordan Addison's a good receiver. As are those two guys from, whatchamacallit, Ohio State. Mario Williams is good. Marvin Mims. You know, I really like Quentin Johnston out of USC. Out of TCU. There's a lot of guys I like. Johnny, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Says Tuto's turn when he comes to Philly, right, Bad Dog? I don't know where Tuto is. I haven't seen Tuto. I don't know. God forbid Daniel Jones. He doesn't. Listen, he doesn't have a lot of help. But sometimes I do think that Daniel Jones kind of plays in a bubble. I do think sometimes Daniel Jones may be a little bit too cautious and is just afraid to, throw caution to the wind and say to hell with it. I'm just going to go for it. Sometimes I do feel like he may be too timid, still too afraid to make a mistake. Sometimes you just got to freaking grip it and rip it, man. You just got to throw the ball. You just got to go for it. Sometimes you do. And I think sometimes maybe he is too timid. Again, I don't know, man. I don't know. Dan, my friend, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Says Tremaine Edwards or Roquan Smith worth the money this offseason. This defense with a healthy San Diego. I still call them that. Los Angeles is going to win this game as I'm watching Herbert pick these guys apart. Tremaine Edwards or Roquan Smith worth the money. This defense with a healthy Adoree Aziz, etc. is a Mike linebacker. I think the Giants could draft a Mike linebacker and not have to pay Roquan Smith all that money. Remember, Dan, we're going to have to do a lot. I don't know what they're doing with Daniel Jones. I don't know what they're doing with Saquon. They're going to have to rework Leonard Williams. You don't want Leonard Williams playing under 30 with a $32 million hit next year. You're going to have to rework that contract. You're going to want to extend Andrew Thomas at some point and Dexter Lawrence. You're going to want to bring those guys back. So I just don't know if Roquan Smith is worth the money for the Giants. I don't know. It's tough. Jonathan says, Giants says we need wide receivers, interior line, linebackers, and other. Yeah, we need a lot. There's a lot of holes to be filled here. A lot of holes. It's just a lot of holes, man. Team's 7-5-1, but I mean, you look at that roster. You look at the roster the Giants have, and you got to sit there and go, how the hell did we do what we did? How the hell did we find a way to win 7 games? It's pretty unbelievable if you ask me. I don't know. Where was Thibodeau today? I don't know. Didn't he have a sack? Somebody said he had a sack today. Aziz looked good today. Cycle, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, as an Eagles fan, the Jones hate from the G-Mens fans is crazy. He has no support rather than Saquon Barkley, who plays the least important position. In my opinion, he could be good. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, Cycle, there's some fans that no matter what Daniel Jones does, um, they will love him blindly. They blindly love him for all of his faults and all of his mistakes, and they'll always blame somebody else for things that Daniel Jones does wrong. And then you have that other small group of fans that no matter how well he plays, or no matter how crappy the situation is around him, or no matter how many plays he makes or when he's good, they'll always say he's not good enough. I don't, again, 4 years in, I've been hot and cold with Daniel Jones. I don't know. I don't know what the hell he is. I don't know what he is. But that's the thing. After 4 years, if you're still questioning which quarterback is, he's probably not the guy. But I just don't see a better option. Because if you take your first round pick and you take a quarterback and you still have all these freaking holes, then again, maybe it's a spark the Giants need. Maybe they do need a spark. But you guys and girls know this. If you take a quarterback and you miss, you're screwed, right? All those people that think we missed on Daniel Jones, and how bad have we been since he's been here? You took him 6th. You could say that was a miss. You took Saquon 2nd. So far, you could probably say that's a miss, right? I know Saquon's really good, but the injury problems he's had, and does Saquon carry a football team? Andrew Thomas, I think, was hit. I think we hit on Andrew Thomas. Kadarius Toney was a miss. Hit on Dexter Lawrence. DeAndre Baker was a massive miss. So, I don't know. I don't get paid to know. I guess that's the front office. I just don't. He's an enigma, man. He's an enigma. I really would just like to see the guy have some talent around him. That's it. I wish he had a true number one receiver. I would just wish Daniel Jones had an average offensive line and a true number one wide receiver. And I think we get a better idea of what he is or what he isn't. But when your number one receiver is Darius Slayton and your interior offensive line are guys like Feliciano, Glowinski, and freaking Bredesen, I mean, I don't know what the hell you want your quarterback to do. And then you have a rookie right tackle who was a left tackle in school. I don't know, man. You bring back Lawrence Taylor? Yeah, I wish. I didn't even know there was a McCaffrey package on the board. But doesn't McCaffrey make a ton of money? I don't know if we could afford to. I don't know if we could have afforded Christian McCaffrey. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not saying Gates amazing guy. I'm talking about Bredesen was the starter. Gates wasn't the starter when he came into the year. I'm not talking about today. No, from what I understand, Neil didn't play well. Neil got beat a lot today. Yeah, exactly. Three Stooges interior offensive line. McCaffrey is a beast. He's on my fantasy team, man. By the way, me and my buddy won our division. We lost today. We lost, but we outscored with the guy. We were tied for first in our division for the best record in the league. And we ended up beating him by so many. We beat him. We both lost. We ended up with the same record. The tiebreaker is most points. We ended up passing him in points. So we actually won the division, and now we get a bye, which is good. We have Christian McCaffrey. He's a beast. We had so many. These are the guys we had to buy this week. I mean, we have Taylor Heineke. We played 2 quarterbacks. We have Taylor Heineke. He was on a bye. Christian Watson was on a bye. Chris Olave was on a bye, and Antonio Gibson was on a bye. Those are 4 guys in our team that were on byes. So we went out in the waiver wire. We picked up Huntley, which I wish we would have picked up Purdy. It was between those 2 guys. Picked up Josh Reynolds. He had a touchdown. They had a good game. We picked up Chuba Hubbard. He had a good game today. So the guys who picked up did really well. Devontae Smith had a good game. Jaylen Waddle ain't doing anything. But we ended up winning the division and ended up with the best record in the league. So happy about that. And my Giants saying, and my friend appreciated the Neil struggles don't faze me. He was seen as a blue chip prospect. That's for nothing. Neil just needs a little break in there. He'll fit. I'm not worried about it. He's a rookie. It's the first bad game he's had since the Dallas game. You know, obviously he's dealt with injury too this year. So I don't know. So, well, I admit you go watch about, I don't know, 30 or 40 videos that I've made about Hurts. I don't know how many times I got to say it. I have mentioned it at the beginning of this stream. Go watch my post-game video. Go watch it. I don't know how many times I got to say that. And I always think that's funny. Like, I have a hard time understanding this. So help me understand this. You were wrong about Jalen Hurts. What does me admitting I was wrong about Jalen Hurts, what does that do for you? Does that somehow give you a feeling of satisfaction? Like, do people have nothing else in their life? This makes me feel good because some random YouTube guy was wrong about Jalen Hurts. So him admitting he was wrong makes me feel so good about myself. What is that about? I can't figure that out to save my life. I'm wrong about a lot of shit. I'm married. I'm wrong every day. Every day I'm wrong about something. Every freaking day of my life. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong. Chill Bill says Hurts is overrated. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's good. I wouldn't go. You know what? I'll tell you what. All these people are like, oh, admit you were wrong about Hurts. Why don't you go to all the Eagle fans that were wrong about him? He's not my quarterback. I freaking hate the Eagles. I hate him. Of course, I wanted him to suck. I loved him at Oklahoma, but I wanted him to suck. I wanted him to be bad. I'm supposed to hate him. He's an Eagle. Go whip on all the Eagle fans like Philly 500 who said he was garbage. Or go ask Philly 500 how good Justin Jefferson is when he says, I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. Go kill him. Go ask him. Go ask him how many times he's going to admit that he was wrong about Jalen Hurts. There's one freaking guy in that entire Eagles content creator group that I know for a fact that was all in on Jalen Hurts from day one, and that's Lord Brunson. Every other one of them said he sucked. Every other one of them said he's not the quarterback. Every other one of them said he's garbage. All of them. Go get the Eagle fans that thought your quarterback was garbage. LB was the one guy I know for a fact that said, I'm riding with Jalen Hurts. Give him credit. Give him credit. But go kill your Eagle fans that thought the guy was trash. Go get them. Go get them. They're wrong too. I'm a Giants fan, man. He ain't my quarterback. Brent, thank you, my friend. He says, a question. Most teams that build around a quarterback have a general idea what the quarterback is. Sounds like weapons are needed to find out what he is. Well, you got to remember something, though, Brent. Joe Shane and Brian Dable didn't know what he was, right? Not in this system. He's played in 3 different systems. This is his first year under this system. They didn't pick up the 5th-year option for that reason. And I think that they had to get an idea of what he was. Right? I think they had to figure out what he was. Now they have to figure out, can they go forward with Daniel Jones? And if they go forward with Daniel Jones, they're going to get the pieces that they feel will help Daniel Jones succeed the most. If they decide that Daniel Jones is not the guy, then whatever quarterback they bring in here to New York, they're going to have to try to find the weapons or the players that are complement the future quarterback skill set. That's the way I look at it. I don't think they had a general idea of what he was. That was a bad throw by Tua. Daniel Jones' dog order. You wish Jalen Hurts was your quarterback. You feel better now, Carter? You feel better? In my opinion, Hurts is a good quarterback. Hurts has a great situation. He has a great situation. And again, I don't think anybody can deny that. He's got a good team. They got a great team. Jalen Hurts would not be the same player here as he is with Philadelphia. Wow, very interesting. So Miami has 1st and 10. They have Waddle and Tyreek Hill on the bench. That's interesting. Afghanistan says you can't fix. That's a fact. You really can't. You really can't. So I stay off Twitter because that is a cesspool. I tweet, but that's about it, man. I tweet and then I just kind of move along. It's rare that I ever actually read the responses. Caleb Williams can't declare for the draft. He's just a sophomore. He's a true sophomore. He can't be eligible to the 2024 draft. Hurts can be like Dak. They suck equally. Well, I mean, we'll see, right? Dak has always been considered a good quarterback, above average, great situation, hasn't really been able to win in the postseason, right? I guess we'll see with Jalen Hurts how that works out. Obviously, last year, that Eagles team was not expected to do much. They ended up making the playoffs. They ended up getting romped by Tampa Bay. And many questions, including questions from Howie Roseman about Jalen Hurts, which is why they went up and got more first-round picks in case they needed to make that move. So your GM wasn't even sold on Jalen Hurts at the beginning of the year. And ended up working out perfectly. Everything came out smelling like roses because you got the Saints first-round pick. But even your GM, even the Eagles GM didn't believe or didn't know what they had in Jalen Hurts. Wasn't sure. So he went out and got insurance in case he needed to draft the quarterback because that team was already put together. But they lost in the playoffs. Well, this Eagles team is really good, so I guess we'll see what he does in the playoffs because Dallas has had really, really good teams like this one, but they haven't been able to get out of the first round of the playoffs outside of once, I think. They beat Seattle, but I don't know. Yes, I did see that. I did see Evan Ingram went for 162 and 2 touchdowns today. I did. Dak has thrown a lot of picks. Didn't he throw a couple more today? I didn't see that. Yeah, I didn't see anything because I just got my freaking. I just got hooked up to the world again about 8:30 tonight. But didn't he have another couple banners? He has thrown a lot of picks this year. Dak has. He has thrown a lot of interceptions this year. Listen, Hurts is better than Dak this year. I don't think nobody should even argue that. Hurts is way better than Dak Prescott this year. That's not close. Dak isn't terrible, but he's not Jalen Hurts. Have to give the Eagles GM credit. They have very good depth. Yeah, they do. He's a very good GM, which is why, as a Giants fan, you should be excited about our future because Brandon Brown came from the Philly front office. So he learned from one of the best, as did Joe Shane. You know? We have to be happy with the coaching, GM, and team. Most fans had 6 or 7 wins and a ton of injuries. I agree, Chris. I completely agree. Got to be happy with. I'm happy with 7-5-1. I'm not happy the way we got here, but if somebody tells me, "Hey, you're going to be 7-5-1 through 13 games," I think I'd be pretty happy with that. John says Eagles fans hated the Jalen Hurts pick when they had a cute quarterback. They all need an apology. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why it always makes you laugh. All these people come in here and go, when are you going to admit you were wrong about Hurts? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like you were right about him. I guess the Dolphins conceded. I don't see either one of their star wide receivers out there. Dallas should have lost this game today. Yeah, they didn't play well. Sometimes that happens, though. Sometimes it happens. Listen, the Texans are horrendous. But the Colts are no good. The Eagles really struggle with them. It took a pass interference call for the Eagles to beat the Colts. Some days you just don't have it. Some days you just don't have it. Again, there's no style points in the NFL. So, Dallas blew out Minnesota 40-3. They handed us our ass. And, who they played? Then they absolutely destroyed Indianapolis. They had a bad game today, and they still won. There's no style points. That Eagles-Dallas game on Christmas Eve is going to be an absolute war. An absolute war. So it is what it is. It happens. Look, Kim says, I'm man enough to listen. I've never understood, honestly, why people have such a hard time admitting they were wrong about stuff. And I always think this to myself, when somebody comes into these streams or comments on my videos, what are you going to admit you were wrong? I think those people that say that, I think they have a hard time admitting they're wrong. I think that's why they do that. Honestly, I think they have a hard time admitting they're wrong. So they just want to hear somebody else do it. Listen, man, I made almost 2,000 videos on YouTube, right? I have over 108,000 subscribers. I've made a lot of content on YouTube. I'm going to be wrong. It is going to happen. If I was worried about being wrong, I wouldn't be on here. I wouldn't give an opinion. I'd ride the fence like some people do. I don't care. I was wrong about Jalen Hurts. There's other quarterbacks I was wrong about. I was wrong about Baker. I thought Baker'd be good. Baker sucks. But I was right about some quarterbacks too. I was right about Sam Darnold. He's awful. I was right about Josh Rosen. He was awful. I was right about Mitch Trubisky. He was awful. But I don't come on here and go, oh, I told you about this. I told you I was right about them. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. It doesn't matter to me, man. Just give you my opinion. Oh, did Miami get the ball back? That's close. Of course, both teams are pointing. It's 23-17. Who has the ball? Oh, Los Angeles got the ball. Los Angeles is going to win. Carolina did. Carolina played well. Carolina helped us out. We're stuck. Kenny Galladay plays. Kenny Galladay is not going to be here next year, so we don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about it. Philly has the easiest schedule. Well, they're still really good. I mean, they can't help who they play. Listen, I don't care who they're playing, man. That's a good team. That's a really good team. What do we do with Galladay? He'll be cut. They'll cut him post June 1st and save some cap. That's what they're going to do. He'll be a post June 1st cut. And I think the Giants, I think the cap hit, I forgot how this works. The cap hit might be like $15 million, but they're going to split it. It'll be split over the next 2 years of his contract. So it spreads the cap hit out a little bit. So the Giants they'll save some money there. He'll be gone next year. He won't be back. But listen, guys, girls, it is 11:30. I got to work in the morning, and there was some freaking snow here. I went out there earlier and I shoveled the driveway, but I'm going to have to get up early and scrape the cars off, warm up. Just, you got to love New York. You got to love the great Northeast in winter. It absolutely sucks. I can't stand. I freaking hate the winter, man. I hate the snow. It's such a pain in the ass. It is just such a freaking pain in the ass, the snow. I cannot stand the snow. Hate it. But again, I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight, and I'm sorry that I missed the game today. Sorry I missed the Laker game. So long weekend, man. You don't realize I grew up in the 80s, and I definitely never depended on the internet. They didn't have it, and they didn't have cell phones. They didn't have a lot of things in the 80s, but God almighty, man, you don't realize how dependent on the internet you become until you lose it for 2 days. Even if I lost the internet, at least if I would have had my cable, Like I could have streamed it through my phone, but the problem was I couldn't watch and stream at the same time on my phone. That was the thing. At least if I had my cable, I could have done my phone. I could have just used my data and streamed to my phone and plugged my phone into my computer so it didn't go dead on me. But you don't realize how much you depend on this crap until it's gone. Anyway, I appreciate you being here, man. I'm sorry that we got our ass kicked, and gigantic game coming up Sunday. Hopefully we can win that one and we get some good vibes back with the Giants. But this is a tough one today. So I'll probably have a video out tomorrow. Go watch my post-game video if you haven't. I put that up like once I got my internet back. I put that video up, so check that out. And as always, guys and girls, thank you so much for the support. And enjoy your Tuesday. And we will, I thought today was Monday. Enjoy your Monday if that's possible. And we'll see you next time. It's the Bad Diggity Dizzle, and I'm out. Peace.